joined every week by Adrian Autry, brought to you by Oswego County Mutual. First and foremost, congrats on the win, Coach. Since Paulie brought it up, I guess let's start there. It seemed like, I think he noticed it. I noticed it. You're always into the game, but were you a little more animated last night than normal?
I'm not sure. I thought we had some. We had some calls or some things in the game that I thought, I just wanted to make sure that we were going to get those same calls at the other end, or just to pay attention to it. So I'm not sure. I mean, again, I'm always into the game, so I don't know if I'm more animated or not. But I think yesterday, for sure, I thought it was starting to get a little dicey, and I wanted to make sure that that we got those same options and looks on the other end.
You talked about how it got a little dicey there, and you're up by 19 at one point in that second half, and they cut it to 8, and things got a little uncomfortable, right? I'm sure there were a lot of nervous fans in the building. You call timeout, you regroup everybody, and then they came out and they responded. Can you speak to, I guess, what was said during that stage of the game on the sidelines, in the huddle, and how your guys responded to being challenged by NC State in that second half?
I think we've been in this situation a couple of times this year where we self-inflict. We had some self-inflicted turnovers. I just told the guys, hey, look, calm down. All right, we know where we need to go. I just kind of reminded them that we were in the bonus, so we need to be aggressive. We don't need to take any, rush shots, and really kind of just stick to the game plan, which was, once we got them in the bonus, to keep attacking the rim, and that's basically it. And then defensively, we had to make a couple of adjustments as far as just talking to them, about what they were trying to do. Styles had got going, then Parker had headed to. We had to just remind them those are the two guys that can make shots. So we gotta pay more attention to that.
Coach, the number the opponent has scored in the past few games has been a little jarring. And yesterday's game, it was a little jarring too. Only 60 points from NC State. What changed, and what caused you to be able to hold them to only 60 points last night?
I think it was a combination of, I thought we did a decent job of contesting their threes. Obviously, NC State shoots a lot of threes, so we wanted to be there on the catch. I thought we did a decent job of that, but they also missed some open looks. But I thought overall, though, we did a good job of. Teams shoot a ton of threes, and as you talk about scoring, scoring is up in basketball, period. So, they say some of the better defensive teams hold teams in 70, 69, 70, 68, 67, 68. And back in the day, it used to be 60, 55, right? So it's changed a lot, just the way the rules are and the way the people attack it. But I just thought defensively we contested a lot. We made them take some contested threes. They didn't have, as many, uncontested shots.
As Paulie so eloquently said earlier in the show, it seemed like on the other end of the court on offense that you guys took advantage of the advantages that you had. You said something along those lines, right, Paulie? And meaning, early on in that second half, Jair Davis, 6 straight points. And then when the game's on the line after NC State gets it to 8, it's, Eddie and JJ take over down the stretch. And, Eddie going to work down low and JJ making plays. Can you speak to that and looking at matchups last night and exploiting some of those matchups and having your best players, again, rise to the challenge when you needed them most?
I think, that's always, a coach's job is to try to find matchups and advantages that you think you have and your team has, and try to, sometimes people do it in a creative way. Sometimes it's just, very simple. I thought yesterday we were very simple. We had a size advantage inside, and I thought we just really kind of cut out the fluff and got right to it and played out of that. And then I thought at the end, JJ, tried one of his better games. I know he scored a lot of points, but I thought overall, his patience in the first half, letting the game come to him, and then even the second half, I thought he took over when he needed to take over. But I just thought we did we kept things very simple, and we took advantage, like you said, Paulie, of the advantages that we thought we had.
Coach, something else happened in the first half last night. Everybody scored last night in the first half before it got to crunch time in the game. Is that something you guys can do regularly where you're getting points from more than just JJ and Eddie?
I think we've had some games like that. I know besides last night, the last one I think California, we had a game. We did that, and I forgot another game we might have had that. I do think this is a balanced team where we can get contributions. Our guys come off the bench. We're bringing in guys off the bench that have some experience. Naheem's a senior, Kyle's a senior. So we do bring some experience off the bench. Chris Bell's a junior. The bench production has been there, and I think when we're winning and we're playing well, you look at the score, excuse me, golly, I'm losing thought of this word right now. Yeah, the box score sheet, the stat sheet, man. I'm thinking about something else. I'm getting ready for the next one. So excuse me, everyone, but you have contributions from everybody. I think that's when we're really, we're playing well when we have that.
What does a win like this do for this team, Coach? It seems like, again, from the outside looking in, we would. There was a lot. It seemed like there was a lot of pressure on you guys last night to get the win. We knew what the situation was with the ACC tournament and a few teams nipping at your heels. And by winning this game, that seems like that's off the table now. You guys should be in the ACC tournament, and now you have a chance to climb the standings, given how bunched up everybody is in the ACC. What does a win What does a win like that do for your team right now?
I mean, obviously, it's huge. Again, we haven't. We've dropped 3 in a row, and a win is always good to have. I think it's good for our confidence. I think with the way we played, like you said, Paulie, everyone contributed. So I think it was really good for our team and moving forward. Going forward to the next game, you want to be playing well, especially at the end of the year. No matter what, we're not worrying about the record. We just worry about our opponent, and that's how we have to approach these last 3 games, and. But it's good to get a win. Obviously, it helps everyone. It was the drive into work was a little bit better today. Them coming to the gym. When they get ready for practice, they're a little bit more upbeat. So obviously, that win is important for the team moving forward as we try to finish these last 3 games out.
Coach, I'd like to ask you usually a question that we get from the fans a lot, and something like what goes into your subbing patterns with the center position? What leads to you putting McLeod in? And for the average guy, is it just when their one comes out, you put McLeod in? What leads to you taking Eddie out and putting McLeod in?
It depends. I think. Obviously with Naheem and you playing against some of these smaller teams, which NC State, they can go small and stretch you out. So, with someone like Naheem, you have to be able to put him in the best situations and have him be able to match up on the other end. So, when you put him in, you really have to think about, kind of what's going on, what other the opponent has out there, because you don't want to put him in. Some of these teams can go 5 out and, have him out there on the perimeter trying to guard a 3-point shooter. I think it happened a couple of games ago. Someone stepped out, we had him in, and, they had a guy out there that was a stretch 5. That's just not a good matchup for him.
You talk about trying to win as many games as you can right now, and the next opportunity is Saturday, going on the road at Virginia Tech, a chance to make it 2 in a row. I mean, what can you say about the Hokies? What stands out to you as you look at them and get ready for that contest?
Firepower offensively, they're a really good offensive team, a lot of movement, a lot of screening, and people don't give them a lot of credit, but a scrappy defensive team, and a team that plays really well at home. I think the last game they played, Louisville, who's one of the better teams in our league. They played them, got back into the game and played them very close. They always play well at home, so it'll be a challenge for us.
I got 2 quick ones for you as we close things out here. I noticed last night you opened up your press conference mentioning how proud you were of this team, and I just wanted to give you a chance here just to comment on the effort last night, because as Paulie and I have been talking about during the first hour, there was an urgency. There was it mattered to the team last night. You could tell that with the players and coaches that game mattered, and so I just wanted to offer you an opportunity just to say what you wanted to say about the effort that you saw from the guys last night.
I was obviously, we know that this has been a tough season, and you think about guys like Eddie and Jaquan and Jair, Lucas, and then, just all the guys, but in particularly those guys and JJ and Chris and the guys that have been here, and just the whole team of what has happened this year, what has transpired, obviously not having a season that we want and being kind of close, in instances like, having the ability to pull out some of those games, which we didn't. And you talk about guys transferring up in this new era of transferring, and this is their experience. And, for them to come out and play that way, and obviously they're fighting for their experience. This is their first time here at Syracuse. And this is a big deal for them, and obviously a little bit of letdown. So I'm so proud that they have impacted it, and we're going to finish this season, and then we're going to get ready for the next season. And that's what we're fighting for, battling for. And I'm glad and I'm proud of them that they came out and, like you said, they played together. They played with an urgency. They played like, hey, this is, what, we still have something to play for. And you don't see that a lot, especially late in the season, where people start to think about what's their next step, where they're going after this, if the guys are not happy, I'm in a transfer portal. There's a lot of distractions that happen during this time of the year, especially at the end of the year, on good teams and on teams like us who are struggling right now, So I'm just proud of these guys. They are still all in. They were excited. They were pulling for each other. We've had a spirited practice, and all year long, this has been a great group. Again, the results haven't been what we wanted, but these guys have come to practice every day, and I love coaching this group, and I wouldn't change that for anything. This group right here, is a group that they want to be good. They want to win. They're about the right things.
Well said. Well said. You have a
Coach,
comment, Paul?
I got to follow up. How have you been able to keep them together? This is a position you haven't been in either. How have you been able to keep them together in this situation where the team is struggling?
These players are like my kids, and and I'm a parent, and when as adults, we all know. Obviously is, health is important and family is important, but, basketball is important for all of us. And, it's tough times. And when you have tough times, you have to be able to navigate those tough times, and you got to be able to pick your head up and fight your way out of it. I've done that my whole life, and that's what we talk about. I think we talk about that. I'm sure their parents are talking about that as well, but our staff is that way. And you come into our gym, you think we would, 32-0. That's how we approach practice with the energy and the spirit. We don't let those results change who we are and the confidence that we have in ourselves. And that's what I talk about.
All right, Coach, you've been gracious with your time. Thanks so much for coming on again today. And I know we've talked about this in the past where we were so close in terms of our birthdays. I was due on Leap Day, came 2 days early. And I've always, and I can't remember, when are we supposed to wish you a happy birthday? Is it today or tomorrow, rather? Or is it March 1st?
Tomorrow is fine. Tomorrow is fine, but I'm sure, I'll be celebrating hopefully, on Saturday.
Saturday after a win, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
Hopefully.
An early happy birthday to you, Coach. Thanks for coming on and keep it going Saturday. We'll talk to you again next week.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
All right, Adrian Autry joining us here on the show, brought to you every week by Oswego County Mutual. And with that, go ahead, Paulie.
I just want to say that last comment he had about the team. Can you guys stop on social media with he lost the team and there's locker room issues?
Yeah.
There isn't. I wasn't at practice prior to last night's game, but Coach Saddlein was, and he told me that team was on a mission. Yeah. They were flying around. It wasn't a practice that you would see a team that is struggling as much as them. They were flying around the gym, he said.
Yeah. And I think you could tell that I think it transferred into the game and the 13-3 start. These guys, and never trailing last night. We say as a fan base how embarrassing it would be if they didn't make the ACC tournament. That team played like it would have, like it mattered,
destroyed them if this program was one of the first teams to not make the ACC tournament.
Right. All right. So with that, we'll take a timeout. We'll open up the phone lines. We've got Matt Park coming up at 1:30. We're back after this on ESPN Radio.